Welcome back, guys, gals, people in the in-between area that are non-binary, to User the Series. Today we have the highly anticipated, several months late, Dansburst Studios video. He won the poll, and so he's getting his own video, despite this being what a Go Kid would call us. If I do coughs because I have a dry throat right now that I magically mysteriously gained during, I think before or after around my Wednesday Baldi stream. I have a little warning here. If you are a person who is religious, which, if you're watching normally 32 content, why are you religious? Or just an old person who can't handle swearing, or someone who just can't handle swearing in general, I suggest you click off now, because there is some pretty heavy language here. Maybe asking, oh, why was I 32? My good Sumerian, my good anti-Vocaloid king, queen, whatever he's supposed to be. Marmalade 32 gender. What is a dance burst? Well, a dance burst is, I'll let the video the talking for itself.
Welcome, every pony.
And we're off to a really good start. Notice how he says, welcome, every pony. This is because Dansburst freaking Studios is stuck in the early to mid to late 2010s when that term was still in use. You could probably go scrolling on the internet for miles and you just see it pop up in your feed. I'm not joking. This is as someone who was in the Thomas fandom during that time, who was watching Thomas the Tangent content during that time, so it was also everywhere. It wasn't in Cornball fandom number 2, also known as the Vocaloid fandom. I kind of feel sorry for the Vocaloid fans because that slop didn't die out earlier. That it's very sloppy. The Vocaloid fandom, all content in there is slop. But anyway, speaking of slop, let's go back to Dansburst.
Dansburst Studios official here. This is going to be the first of 2 videos responding to Tibbles Yorkie, the canine.
No way. Furry versus Brony. Who could have guessed? This is just like Marmalade 32 versus Vocaloid. Weird version. No, guys, my skin is not a Vocaloid. I don't know what assumptions you're making of me. Me actually tolerate Vocaloid fans? You all must be dreaming. But anyways, Dansburst is, he's gonna do something quite radically stupid, You might be asking yourself, Marmalade 32, what are you talking about? Well,
this video was a long time in the making. I started it like a month ago, at first as a response to her role in the El Money drama. But after I looked more into Tibbles, I saw a number of social media posts where she platforms herself as one of the activists in the latest wave of the dogmatic crusade against zoophilia. I've had issues with these activists for a while now, but I realized I'd never gathered all my thoughts on them in one place.
What was I gonna say here? Ah, yes, he's using the corniest video since, I don't know, the first ever Vocaloid video made on YouTube and the internet. No, my skin is not a Vocaloid, guys. You're just all on crack. And no, I'm not in denial. I still think all Vocaloids are corny, even the fake ones. But yeah, Dansburst is gonna do something related to zoophilia. He's gonna try and make it immoral and legal. And spoiler alert, we don't even make it half through his entire tirade because I lose my marbles. And you're gonna probably see me lose my marbles very quickly into the video. Because we're dealing with someone who has morals that go very much against my moral code. Isn't that shocking, you guys? Something bad goes against Marmalade 32. His moral code isn't that shocking? It's not like he has a moral code or anything. No, my skin's not a Vocaloid. You all are just high and stupid and incorrect.
That's going to be the goal of this video. I'm going to be arguing against 2 separate but related claims. First, that zoophilia is morally wrong, and next, that zoophilia should be illegal. Well, let's start with the first. A lot of anti-zoophiles think that raping an animal is morally wrong.
Yeah, well, maybe because it actually is? Oh my god, who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that having non-consensual sex or any sex with an animal It's morally wrong. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed, everyone, that that is morally wrong? I know, I know. Who would have guessed? It's kind of like guessing that you all are on crack because my skin's a Vocaloid. It's not a Vocaloid, guys. You're all.
and makes you a bad person. And people have, of course, asked them, why is that any different than eating an animal?
Well, maybe one's a source of income for some people by butchering animals and then selling the meat byproducts. And one, I think, why can't we just do what Italy does and castrate them? You know what castration means, but if you don't, go Google it on your own. I'm not telling you. What am I gonna say else here? I'm genuinely losing my marbles because as I'm re-narrating this, I'm actually going through and watching some of the clips. And no, my skin is not a Vocaloid, guys. You're just all really high. Yes, all of you guys seem to be on some sort of high today. I don't know what's gotten into you guys. Maybe a good trick.
I'm not against people eating animals. The anti-zoophiles will reply that we have to eat animals for nutrition, and even if we didn't, vegan stuff would be more expensive. But what if this weren't true? Here's my main claim. Even if all humans had readily available 100% nutritious bland tofu, it wouldn't be wrong or immoral for a human to hunt and kill an ostrich, either because they like the taste of its meat or because they enjoy the thrill of the hunt. It turns out that this is all we need to deduce that zoophilia is not immoral.
Okay, so we're gonna mention that if we had more available cheap vegan slop, that having non-consensual sex with an animal would be completely fine. Have we strayed from what we were supposed to be? What if there's an old saying and that says that God stays in heaven because he fears what he created, and I don't know.
First of all, what would it mean for zoophilia to be moral? Well, in raping the animal, zoophiles put frivolous human sexual pleasure above the animal's sexual autonomy and well-being. So, to establish morality, we just need to see if we can deduce statement Z. Now,
I'm starting to lose my marbles here because he's doing his research. He's actually doing his research to make sure that his sick, twisted pleasures are accepted into society. Why can't we just? I'll say it again. Why can't we just do what Italy does to pedophiles and castrate zoophile? Why don't we just castrate anyone that isn't a decent human being? Which means we'd probably have to castrate half the government right now. But then again, you didn't hear nothing from me, okay? You didn't hear nothing from me because you all are on crack. You're all so on the high that you are seeing a lot of things. My skin is not a Vocaloid, and I didn't just get political on YouTube. And you are all so very high. I think I gotta tip you all to a wall for a few hours or something.
frivolous human taste and sexual pleasures are both extra, unnecessary pleasures, so they should be roughly as important in whatever moral consideration you happen upon. Some may say that the sexual pleasure would come from the rape of the animal.
I don't know what he's trying to say or what he's trying to do, but ain't no one listening to you, dog. Ain't no one listening to him. And fun fact, this guy did actually get kicked out of the internet, chased off, I think, too. So yeah, there's no more Dansburst, guys. You guys can't go find his ass. Guys can't go find him. I mean, I wish I had something I could race with you with, but you guys seem to be really high, you know. First, you guys think I have a Vocaloid skin on, and then you guys think I get political. You guys are really high. You guys are super high, I think. But anyways, back to Dansburst. You can tell that he's really desperate, and that he really wants his six twisted fantasy to get accepted.
While the taste pleasure would happen only as a byproduct of killing the animal. This would somehow make satisfying sexual pleasure more cruel because it is more direct. These people would say that because satisfying the sexual desire in this case is more cruel, it should be given less weight. I don't think emotional cruelty should factor into morality assessments at all, only the consequences of the actions.
You know what I mean? He is desperate. He is like the most desperate person ever right now. He almost as desperate as you guys. No, my skin's not a Vocaloid, everyone. I don't know what you're all on about. You are all so very much under the influence. What's happened to my loyal fan base? You are all tripping. You're tripping harder than some.
I'll explain this more when proving my main claim. Even if it did, I don't think doing something directly is any more cruel than doing it indirectly, since they have the same consequences. Besides, getting pleasure from the thrill of the hunt is taking direct pleasure in the death of the animal, and I don't think that's immoral either.
Look at how desperate he is. My skin's not a Vocaloid, guys. You're all on crack and cocaine and all the drugs in the world ever. But, he sounds super desperate here. He almost feels like something you'd see in Sam and Max. It's like, Sam, when can we shoot this guy? Can't think of a reason not to shoot him now, little buddy. I mean, he would fit so well in, like, Steve Purcell humor. Like, I just love to see Steve Purcell just, like, do something like this. But anyways, you can tell he's desperate. He is super desperate. He actually did his research on it. I am surprised that someone would actually care about something this going against every single sane person's moral code.
This gives us Lemma 1. From our main claim, we know it's fine to eat an ostrich to taste its meat or for the thrill of the hunt. This means it's not immoral to prioritize frivolous human taste or hunt pleasure over an animal's life, which gives us Lemma 2. Killing an animal for its taste is a bigger harm to the animal than raping it for pleasure would be.
Did I mention he likes MLP? Yeah, he likes MLP. And that's a pretty telltale sign that he's a creeping weirdo. Almost kind of like you're a cornball if you like Vocaloid content, because my skin's not a Vocaloid gang. You're all under the influence. I don't know what to tell you guys. You're all under the influence. You're all on something. I feel like IDK Sterling right now. You guys, I'm not to Dansburst Studios. MLP fan, and he's an MLP fan, so of course he's gonna be a weirdo and a freak. Most, if not all of them, are. And yes, I am. Hello, Soul. I am gentrifying. I am gentrifying them. How do I word this? I remember back when, like, oh, you'd probably see from Miles and Tom stuff on YouTube would be like MLP crossovers. It was crazy, dog.
Some say that non-mutilative rape would somehow traumatize an animal so much that it would be worse than killing them. We know this isn't true, because animals who are raped don't become suicidal. Sure, some dogs who are traumatized by owners might stop accepting food from other people, but this is because of fear and lack of trust in people.
Oh, yes. I wonder why. I sure do. I sure do wonder why, Danny's burst.
If you leave food in an empty room with them, they're gonna eat it, instead of starving themselves. All non-human species value reproduction first, then life, and then avoiding pain, in that order and without exception.
Okay, so in this video, he has brought up trying to make his sick, twisted fantasy real by just going like the vegan the dog can't care yourself. Like, oh my god, bro, oh my god, do we have to bring back the electric chair because of Dansburst? I think we have to bring back the electric chair because of Dansburst. And no, guys, no, that's not my skin. My skin is not TETO. That's not my skin. You're all really, really high. TETO is a cornball. All Vocaloids are corny, okay, guys? All Vocaloids suck.
Barring self-sacrifice to save their young, there hasn't been a single documented case of pet animals or wild animals committing suicide, especially not due to something like depression. This gives us Lemma 3.
I can't believe it. He's desperate. He's super desperate. He is so desperate. We're this desperate to prove something that is not morally right.
From here, it's just a simple use of the transitive property. Linking lemmas 1, 2, and 3 gives us claim Z. But suppose you're not convinced that frivolous human pleasure of any kind should be placed above an animal's life.
He's desperate. I'm still shocked. He did all this research on something that is literally, ethically, morally, and legally wrong.
Which is to say, you don't agree with my main claim that we used to prove lemmas 1 and 2 in our zoophilia deduction. Tibbles was a vegan herself, before quitting it for both health and practicality reasons, so she would likely reject that too. Now, how could I prove that zoophilia is moral in a way that would convince a vegan?
Hey buddy, you can't, there's no way to convince anyone besides, I don't know, My Little Pony fans and Paw Patrol fans. And what you're yappering on about is a good, muy bueno. think I think our good old friend Dansburst here is off of the raka, if you know what I mean. He's a bit off his chair.
Say that, like the vegans, you don't believe you should inflict harm on animals for any frivolous human pleasure. One reason people may say that they wouldn't accept frivolous hunting is because killing an animal frivolously like that violates the animal's right to life, whatever that means. Apparently, they think it's morally wrong to harm animals, even when that harm doesn't affect humans. I think that, in terms of measurable consequences, it doesn't make sense to call this a bad action. You might ask, in our deductions of the morality or immorality of actions, which is really just assessing the goodness of the consequences, why is it that we should ignore any consequences, no matter how grave, caused to animals that don't affect humans? This is a thing that makes sense to do both spiritually and logically.
Hey guys! Hey guys! I just came with my OP. Hey guys! Look at the CORNBALL screen. Look! What does she look like? What does she look? She looks like a steam locomotive driver for like the Great Britain, like especially with the Great Western Railway. Go back to try to Thomas the Tank Engine or something, and stop getting hypnotized. You absolute CORNBALL. I'm tweaking, guys. I'm tweaking. What is he doing? What is Dansburst on, dog? I'm tweaking. I'm tweaking. I'm genuinely tweaking. I can't stop tweaking, dog. I just can't stop tweaking. In other words, I think he's desperate. He is super desperate.
Speaking in spiritual terms, God made a natural hierarchy of all living things: bacteria, plants, invertebrates, vertebrates, non human mammals, humans, angels, and God. To place an animal's will before a human's will in any moral consideration is to debase God's vision of humans as the natural rulers of Earth.
Yeah, you could tell he's desperate. Desperate and insufferable. Is that cool right there? Oh no, I don't miss that cool. But anyways, UK, let's hear what he has to say about more of. It's gonna be fun, isn't it?
The angel Lucifer tried to subvert this hierarchy by leading angels in a revolt against God, the natural ruler of the heavens. Lucifer wanted to impose his own will above God's. He was sent to hell, becoming Satan. Literally, the origin of all sin in this universe comes from subversions of natural hierarchy. But even if you're a materialist, you can't deny that there is a clear hierarchy in terms of cognitive capacity. Bacteria, plants, non-human animals, and then humans. I hate to say this, but sorry, furries, we don't live in Zootopia. Lesser animals are not a part of human society. They live their whole lives in the natural world, or in our simulations of it, like zoos. You can't put predator and prey on the same moral footing. Just by virtue of intelligence, can do things that animals can't, and experience richer lives than animals ever could. Besides, what kind of self-loathing society would we be if we put the needs of other species of lesser sentience on equal leveling to our own, or even ahead of our own pleasures?
Won't you look at that, guys? He's trying. He's bringing some. Zootopia does not have anything to do with the conversation. I hope you know that, Dansburst. I hope you know that there is no logical reason that you should be bringing Zootopia into this conversation. Why are you trying to show you're just...
Human rights don't exist in the natural world, just in human society. If you want proof, tell an ocean about your right to live as it's drowning you. We make for ourselves human rights because it helps our society run more smoothly and more stably. This makes the human experience all around better. But if you take the basic rights that we afford to humans for smoother societal functioning, like the right to life and the right to sexual consent, and you mindlessly copy-paste those onto animals, you lose the reasons why we made up those rights in the first place. To make a better experience for humans and human society. And this is why I believe that any reasonable definition of morally wrong can only take into account negative consequences caused to other humans. So that settles the morality of zoophilia. It's moral.
No, it's not. Probably because I'm a sane person, but I don't think that doing the deed, let's say, with an animal, it's not moral, it's not legal, it's not right, and it's just plain stupid. And if you are watching this video, you're subscribed to Marley 32, and you think it's moral, get out! Go away, shoo, bye-bye. I don't like you, Dirty Maxes. Hi, I'm Hugh Bliss. That's what best.
But now for the next claim. Should zoophilia be illegal?
No. I'm like that Venom meme that's been going around TikTok recently, where he's like going shin.
Some people think that violently hunting or having sex with an animal would reinforce violent or sexual psychological habits that would carry over into more violent or sexual actions and thoughts about real humans. These people think that outlawing or creating social taboos against these actions would reduce harm, because it would reduce the supposed carryover effects from the proxies to other actual humans. We reinforce violent and sexual psychological habits indirectly, all of the time, when we watch digital content like violent video games and internet pornography. Violence has never been more easily accessible at any point in human history than today on the internet. But despite this, if you trust modern studies, then you should know that they say that violent video games, movies, and similar don't make people more likely to commit violent crimes. It's similar for internet pornography. It doesn't make people more likely to be rapists. Acting violently through digital proxies doesn't bleed over into the human world. Neither does acting violently through animal proxies.
And now we're bringing violent tendencies into this. Yeah, you could see what I mean by...
Another more immediate issue with outlawing or tabooing violence against proxies is that it actually creates more harm by criminalizing and shaming people who would have never committed violence or sexual assault against other humans in the first place. The proxy carryover argument is one of the main justifications that people and lawmakers have used for government censorship and bans on violent video games and lolicon. Take a look at this Kotaku article. An American faces prison just for bringing manga to Canada on his laptop.
La 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 la, I ain't showing that. La 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 la, la 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 la, yep, la 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 la, he is desperate, la 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 la. But as I was saying, he's desperate. I know I've said it, but it just shows. It shows that he's desperate to get his whole little thing accepted.
Almost hurts tweets saying that zoofiles should be shot on site.
And you know what? I know I usually don't condone violence, but I think she's right. I think Tibbles, whoever Tibbles is right. She's absolutely in the right. I said it, but we should do what Italy does to pedophiles and rapists, and we should castrate them. If you don't know what castrating is, if you don't know what it is, go do a quick little Google search. Do it. I'm not telling.
I mean, she clearly believes that it's the necessary implication, which is to say, according to her, if you practice zoophilia, then you must be, without fail or exception, a bad person.
And again, she's absolutely right.
That's why she wants to shoot them on sight, without even bothering to check if the human person on the other side of the screen is cruel towards other humans, or kind to them. Conditioning on being a zoophile Is it probabilistically more likely for you to be a bad person in the consequence-based sense I mentioned before? Probably slightly, though I would say not nearly as much as people think.
That was the final point for me. I couldn't continue on with his yapping any longer, but he's done so many things. There's a whole bunch of videos. Just one quick YouTube search will show you what he's done. He's ran a grooming ring on Discord. He argued with his mom. He tried to debate his mom, and oh yeah, he had a boyfriend somehow, and argued over a candy bar with him.
Michael, where did you put my Snickers bar? Wait, what are you saying, Timmy? Michael, you took my Snickers bar. You gotta see the fucking shit you do every day after Halloween. Your Snickers bar? Okay, well, what's Snickers bar? What are you talking about? You took it, Michael. You took my nerds too. You gotta see the shit that you do every day. Okay, fine. I took your fucking Halloween candy. So what? Well, I took your Halloween candy. So what? I took your Halloween candy. You know how hard it actually works for you, Michael? You never worked. You're on disability. You work. You did. What are you talking about? We're at Walmart. I took fucking Walmart. I'm on disability. I'm on disability. I deserve it. I'm disabled. I have high functioning autism. And I deserve my Halloween candy because I'm a child. Okay, so what? I have given you this beautiful house and everything, and you just so disrespectful to me, and you just say, oh, I deserve it. Well, guess what? Who pays half the bills? Who does all this? And you're so disrespectful to me. Fuck you. It's not even yours. I really care about you. You never ever care about me. You don't care about shit. You only care about your insatiable appetite. You just want to know yourself like how fucking crazy you are. And that's why I'm never gonna be with you again. I'm gonna break up again. You're never gonna see me again. I'm gonna kill myself, Michael, and you will be the one. You will pay. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Yeah, fuck you! I fucking hate you no matter what you do. Fucking shit. You don't fucking talk like me. Don't talk like me like that again. Don't talk like me like that again. I give you so much. I give you so much shit. You don't even talk to me like that, you piece of shit.
Yep. That's Dansburst for you guys. So, what did we learn in today's episode of User.series? Well, we've learned a lot of things. Number 1, you're all on crack. Number 2, all Vocaloids are corny. Number 3, I do not like the Vocaloids, they're all corny. And number 4, all Vocaloids suck and they're only good for the scrap heap. Someone's like, but they're not androids. Well, I guess they are. You're wrong. But what has Dansburst done? Let's do a quick summary of what Dansburst has done. Alright, so, our good old pal here, Dansburst, has had said that sex with the animals is muy bueno. He ran a grooming Discord, and he made me lose my sanity. Well, I mean, like it was there to begin with. And yeah, that was on, that was today. This was the second episode of the series, and I will be running a poll once this video is up on who you want me to cover next. Maybe, and the next one should hopefully not take as long to come out as this one did. And, yeah. That's really all I have to say. You know, it just sickens me that there's still people who, act like this. I think to get away without any legal repercussion, you know? And I have 2 dogs, 2 cats. And I love them like a father, like a parent would love their child, let's say. And yeah, adios.